The summer I turned 16 stretched out like an empty parking lot. Hot, wide, and echoing with nothing. My friends were out of town or at camps I couldn't afford. My parents worked late shifts at the hospital, and my sister Maya had graduated in June and was trying to figure out what next meant. She'd quit competitive dance at the end of senior year because scholarships didn't come through, and the decision left her orbiting the house in loose t-shirts and old warm-ups, always halfway between starting something and giving it up. Most days, we did a lot of nothing together. We watched cooking shows, but never cooked. We played a card game we couldn't remember the rules to, and made up our own. We walked to the corner store for freezer pops and ate them on the porch while the neighborhood's sprinkler arc stitched the air. By mid-July, even our boredom was bored. The day it changed, Maya left after lunch to help a friend move. She tossed me the remote and said, "Try not to let the couch grow over you." And then she was gone, her car coughing to life in the heat. The house sank into silence. The AC hummed its tired, fake wind. A fly investigated the rim of a glass on the kitchen counter and then thought better of it. I wondered. This is a skill I developed since school let out, drifting from room to room as if the house might have secretly installed a new attraction. The hallway mirror returned the same shoulder-length brown hair. I was trying to grow longer. The fridge offered pickles and mystery leftovers. The attic ladder stared down like a dare. We never went into the attic unless Christmas demanded it. It was the padlocked vault of old life. Baby clothes, parenting books full of advice our parents ignored, boxes labeled in my dad's careful block letters. Toys, books, taxes, dance. That last label had always been a planet in my peripheral vision. Maya's dance years had shaped our family's calendar, gas budget, and weekends. Recitals, rehearsals, the furious finding of safety pins before dawn. I'd been 8 when she first stood on a stage in a blue tutu, and my job had been to hold a bouquet that shed petals on my shirt and make noises at exactly the right time after she bowed. Now the box was up there, slated for someday. I pulled the ladder down. The attic air smelled like dust, and a little like wood that wanted to be a forest again. Light came in through the small window with that nostalgic slant that makes ordinary things look like memories. I found the dance box under 2 crates of tangled Christmas lights. Inside, costumes wrapped in tissue paper, the ghost of glitter everywhere, a stack of folded warm-up sweaters, leg warmers, a shoebox with hair stuff in Maya's teen handwriting, a paper program from a recital I remembered only through snapshots on the fridge. The colors made my eyes widen. Jewel tones, pastel layers, midnight blue velvet cut to catch stage light. The fabrics didn't look like anything I owned. They had intentions. They were built for movement and for being seen. I touched a sleeve. It was slippery and cool, the way a fish must feel in your hands if you're gentle. I hadn't realized I was holding my breath until I let it out slowly. I told myself I was just looking. The attic was hot. I was just cooling my fingers. I told myself a lot of things. Under the top layer of tissue, I found a wrap skirt, a practice one, black chiffon with a ribbon tie, paired with a soft ballet pink leotard. The leotard was obviously too small. Maya had been 12 when she wore it. The skirt, though, I lifted it out. It weighed almost nothing. It would make a line if I tied it on. It would say something simple like, "This belongs here." There was no mirror in the attic. I would have to go downstairs to try it on. I brought the skirt with me, folded it small, as if that made it less real. In my room, I shut the door. My hands were both calm and not. I told myself I was just trying it to see how the ribbon worked. That's what you do with strange objects. You test how they go. I stood in front of the mirror and wrapped the skirt around my hips. The ribbon settled into a bow without a fight. The chiffon made a shadow of my legs, even as it covered them. A draft from the AC vent stirred the hem, and it answered with the smallest, most private movement. Nothing was loud. The sky didn't break open. Choirs remained uninvited. But my shoulders softened by a degree I wouldn't have noticed if I hadn't been staring at myself. My stance changed, not dramatically. More like my body remembered a different set of instructions and took one step in that direction. I breathed. In the shoebox labeled hair stuff, I found bobby pins, hairnets, a ribbon the exact color of birthday cake icing. There were elastics stretched to the end of their lives and 3 clips shaped like flowers. I laughed and put the ribbon on my desk. My hair wasn't long, but I could gather the front into a clip and make it pretend to decide which way it wanted to fall. I tried on more clothes. Curiosity came in small, greedy sips. A warm-up wrap sweater over a fitted tank top. Leg warmers slouched around my ankles, just for the joke of it. A jacket from a jazz number, all black, with a line of sequins like a sentence under the collar. A prom of colors bloomed on my bedspread, where I laid pieces down carefully, like they might bruise. The shoebox also held a tiny plastic compact, with a cracked mirror and a pan of glittery eyeshadow that had seen better days. Being a 16-year-old boy, I had never put makeup on my face. Half of that was fear I'd ruin it. The other half was something I didn't have a name for yet. The compact was so old it felt safe, like coloring with dried-out markers. I brushed a little onto my eyelids and then laughed again at the sparkle, because I couldn't pretend to be serious while glittering. When I looked up, really looked, the reflection in the mirror looked back with a concentration that made my throat tight. I turned, just a little, to see the skirt respond. It did, like a friend who always laughs half a beat after you. The movement made sense on a level that didn't care about vocabulary. Time thinned. You know how an afternoon can collapse into a single task until the light outside has changed and you didn't notice? It was like that. My phone, face down on the desk, stayed quiet. Maya's helping a friend move threatened to take forever. Then the front door opened. It was a polite sound, 2 rooms away. The click, the thud, the shiver of the house absorbing a returning person. My stomach turned to static. I froze in the posture of someone who just found a cat staring at them from a sink. Listen, I told my panicking innards. We take off the skirt. We kick it under the bed. We are normal humans who do not molt into butterflies without warning. Footsteps padded down the hallway. Jay. Maya's voice, casual, absolutely unprepared to be a plot device. You home? You have to see how this sofa fits in Jess's apartment. It doesn't, but also it does. My hands wouldn't find the ribbon knot. Fingers that could untangle earbuds blindfolded could not, at this moment. I tried again. The more I tried, the more it became a magic trick with no solution. The footsteps stopped outside my door. She knocked. Jay. When I didn't answer, the doorknob turned. I'm coming in. We know that being transgender can be a difficult journey, and we want to do our part to make it a little bit easier. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing to our channel. It would mean the world to us. This will help us continue to create content that is helpful and supportive for the community. Thank you again for watching, and we hope to see you next time.